So, this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was a better understanding regarding wealth. And before I begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names, and I'll say them now and I'll repeat them at the end as well. So, the names are Rafua Shalema for Leah Lilach Bat Sarah Khana. May she have a speedy and immediate full recovery, as well as Lule Nishmat for Yaakov Tzvi ben Moshe Avram, Gabrielle Masauda Bat Sarah, and Roger Asher ben Marcel. May all their neshamas have the ultimate aliyah. So, the topic of a better understanding regarding wealth. The reason I chose this topic was because I feel like wealth and finances are definitely a big thing, especially nowadays, and always have been, I'm sure, but even more so nowadays. And it happened to be that the part in Shar HaBitachon, which we learn 1 hour before class every week, was actually talking about wealth, and it's specified in the angle of second income and a second stream of income and second jobs and this type of mentality. And it was stating how the second job does not bring any aspect of it doesn't bring in any extra funds that God has already allotted you or has intended to give. So taking on the second responsibility or taking on a second job or a side business or a side hustle isn't actually playing any significant role in your funds. It's just adding more on top of your payload and what you have to do. So with that, I decided to make a topic out of it because I found it very fascinating. And a key thing I realized was differentiating the two, differentiating rich and wealthy. And rich is somebody or something that is happy with its lot and like recognizing and it's fine with their lot, like what they have, they're happy, satisfied, completely okay with, and appreciating. That's rich. Now, wealth comes to the finances. Having extra money, having being able to splurge, that's wealth. Having your necessities paid for and everything's taken care of, and having leftover, that's wealth. And I'd say 90% of the population, when they use the word rich, they're actually referring to wealth. But in this class this week, I was actually clarifying, how does one get wealthy? How does one obtain wealth? And coming from a completely logical but also Torah-based point of view would be that one would get and acquire wealth once they establish and form a base of the rich mentality. And the rich mentality means I have what I have and I'm grateful for what I have. I have enough. I have everything that I need. I have. God provides everything that one needs, whether it's roof over their head, food on their table, this and that. They have it. And once they acknowledge that, God now has no reason to hold back any extra funds that is there. Why? Because he's entrusted you with a certain amount of funds. You've used it responsibly, and now you're showing God that you are more than equipped to handle a bit more funds. It might not be a lottery, but it might be $50. It might be $100 a month. It might be $1,000. And then as God is seeing you use it responsibly, He has no reason not to give you more. And when you just aim for the wealth aspect without building that foundation of rich mentality, it actually causes problems. It actually will cause somebody stress and problems to the point where $3,000 in expenses, let's say, and the person makes, let's say, $3,500. $3,000 expenses gets paid. The car's getting paid, the rent's getting paid, the insurance is getting paid, gas getting paid, and he now has $500 left over. That $500 is the stem of all his stress. All of the person's stress is coming from that $5. How they're using it. Are they using it properly? Are they saving it? They're saving and then spending and this and that. But the truth is, their necessities are taken care of. The bills are paid. The roof's over. They got the roof. They got they're not stressing on the $3,000. They're stressing on the leftover, the 500. That's the wealth aspect. The truth is, that 500 is wealth. It might not be a six figures. $500 extra is $500 extra. That is wealth. At the end of the day, be grateful for it and acknowledge it and use it properly. Most people aren't. and don't. To the point where they actually splurge and then take care of their responsibilities. And then it's like, oh, I don't have rent money. Oh, I don't have my car payment. Oh, I don't have insurance money. This. But the truth is, you did have the money. You just didn't use it properly. You weren't allotting it properly. And because of that, now you're in this position that you have to like ask, or you feel like the necessity of, oh, I don't have what I need. But you did. God gave you what you needed. You just had the free will and the free choice, and you did not do what you were supposed to do. You did not use it properly. But that doesn't mean you're screwed and, oh, I have to go get a second job and this and that. No. At the end of the day, just acknowledge that. Acknowledge that you were in the wrong. You did wrong. You did not use your funds ideally and properly in this and that. Acknowledge it. And I'm not saying acknowledge it to people or an individual. Acknowledge it to God. Acknowledge it to Hashem and express to Him, I know that you gave me the funds to pay my rent and this, and I did not use it properly. And that's enough in Hashem's eyes. How do we know this? The proof would be in Gemara. In Gemara, there's the scenario where somebody steals at night and somebody steals during the day. The one that steals during the day, who would think it's like, oh, so much bigger of a deal, he does not care, this, he actually pays less than the one that steals at night. And it's like, why is that? It's because Hashem already factors in that the fact that the guy had to steal during the day, in the case of stealing, let's say, a goat, he had to carry the goat during the day, and it's embarrassing. There's a sense of embarrassment. It's like, what? He stole. Why do I care if this guy's embarrassed? He did it to himself. You're stealing. That's on you. Like, I'm not taking pity on that. Nope, Hashem takes pity on that. And the fact that he knocks off a full payment. Instead of 5, he pays 4 or something like that. He literally pays less because Hashem's factoring in the sense of embarrassment. And it is embarrassing to have to ask, is a crappy feeling to have to ask and to acknowledge that oh, I messed up. It's a crappy feeling. So when you are going and standing in front of Hashem and talking to Him and saying, God, I acknowledge I did not use the funds properly, that's already enough in Hashem's eyes. That's already one sense of a punishment in a sense. Is sitting there acknowledging and putting yourself down to the point of, I messed up. I messed up, God. I messed up. And it's that acknowledgement. The minute you do that, Hashem has no reason, and He will come in. He'll come in with somebody, a donor, or opening your eyes to see, oh, maybe ask this person or ask another number or this and that. It is. But you have to also be humble enough to realize that is Hashem. That Hashem is sending these people towards you. And if you are blessed to have the wealth, understand the wealth is not all on you. It's not all towards you. It can be you're simply holding the money for somebody else in need. And keep that open mind. And we obviously went significantly deeper in the class. And if anybody's interested privately, they're more than welcome to hit me up and we can speak more on it. But that was pretty much the topic for this week. And I thought it was a very mind-boggling topic and opening topic to a lot of people, especially this day and age with finances the way they are and jobs and everything like that. So I hope it brought a little bit more clarity to stress more on what you do have and not aim to focus on what you're lacking. Be grateful with what you have, and God has no reason not to give you more. So with that, the names were Refuah Shalema for Leah Lilach Bat Sarah Chana, Leulei Nishmat for Yaakov Tzvi ben Moshe Avram, Gabriel Masaudu Bat Sarah, and Roger Asher ben Marcel. May Elder Neshama have ultimate aliyah, and a speedy, immediate recovery for Leah Lilach Bat Sarah Chana. Thank you so much. See you guys next week.